Peace. So today I'm going to tie in two seemingly different scenarios, different events that's taking place right now. I'm going to tie them in together and bring my point, validate my point, a discussion, a topic of discussion, just to see where y'all at with it at the end of the video. And I'm going to tie in two different subject matters, two prevalent, two popular topics right now. I'm going to tie them both together, which they seem like they don't have shit to do with each other. But I'm going to tie them together and we're going to build on the conversation. And that noise that you hear in the background is actually rain hitting the roof that I'm standing in this garage. So it's raining, bear with the sound. I build that it go cool, that you can hear me. So the first subject matter is the judge being arrested in Wisconsin. If I'm not mistaken, the judge's name is Hannah Dugan. She was arrested for obstructing justice. All of this is alleged, of course, but we're going to go with the storyline so we can build. So she was arrested for obstructing justice, and according to reports, some illegal cat was actually in her courtroom for a different case that he was fighting. ICE was waiting outside in the court hallway to gavel him up. The judge got wind of it, and to make a long story short, gave this dude an exit stage left out the back door to avoid getting gaffled, which lies in the obstructing of justice, because she was quote unquote preventing ICE from gaffling this dude up. So bear in mind, we not passing judgment either way. Don't matter. We gonna build on something completely different, but we not passing judgment. So that is what is said was allegedly happened. So I don't know the actual time frame. Maybe a few days later, FBI snatched up the judge in her courtroom or at the court and arrested her. You know, like literally arrested her and put her in like a holding cell or something to that effect. The criticism isn't on whether or not she was obstructing justice. The criticism is the way the FBI, the Trump administration, went about gaffling her ass up. You know, the critics are saying that it was distasteful. They could have done it in a more inconspicuous manner. They didn't have to publicize it. They didn't have to arrest her at the court. You know, they just could have went about it with more class, if you will. So, of course, the Trump administration is setting an example, because this is the second judge that's being arrested for a similar crime that was committed. So, of course, they set an example. So they wanted to put extras on it. They wanted to make it publicized, and they wanted to embarrass her, right? It's a fact. They wanted to do that. Here's my question, though. Why would they have had called her and told her to turn herself in? Like, where is in the rule book that says that I need to make it nice and simple and convenient for me to put the cuffs on your ass. Damn, the rain is coming down hard. I'm gonna keep building though. So, who says that the arrest should have went different than any other arrest? Right? So that's a rhetorical question. The whole questioning about how she was arrested is because she was a judge. Right? So a judge should be treated different even when they commit a crime. All the while, everybody always talking about this fair shit, right? Nobody's above the law. It should be fair. What's fair about that? Seeing as though it's a judge, and it's a real minor crime, so she should have been dealt with in a different fashion because it's a judge, right? I would say that's elitism, right? That's that patriarchy. That's that it's us and it's them. Certain classes get treated different, right? So you can have the same argument about Trump. Which I do believe the charges that was on Trump was some bullshit. But he still got treated in a certain fashion if it was really 34, if I'm not mistaken, 34 felonies, right? The fuck? 34 felonies. And my man never once had no worry about going to the bean. So to say that there's different circumstances and people get treated different depending on your status is a fucking understatement. And I'm pointing this out because I'm going to argue the fucking elephant in the room. All this is fair and everybody get treated the same. We know everybody don't get treated the same. And critics are bitching and moaning about this judge because it's political. It's the Trump administration. It's the left. So, but for me, I'm not dealing with either side. I'm just saying that people get treated different. And then depending on what side of the spectrum you're on, your expectations is they should be treated different because of fill in the blank. That's bullshit. Now this is the crazy tie-in. So let's go to the NFL draft. I know that's crazy, right? I went from a judge getting arrested to the NFL draft. And of course, I'm building on Shedeur Sanders. If you don't know, you're living under a fucking rock. The quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes, one of the hottest publicized teams, in recent years. Deion Sanders is the head coach. Deion Sanders is the father of Shedeur. He played well above average, bottom line. But so my point is that we are on the third day of the draft and Shedeur hasn't been drafted. But I'm not here to debate the skills and none of that. Everybody knows he should have been drafted already. That's not an argument. Regardless of the critiques about why he probably hasn't been drafted. It's the NFL, the teams, right? The team owners, per se, the teams that's making a statement. So they intentionally take my man all the way out the first round, second and third round. I think they're in the fourth round now. And he still has yet to be drafted. When he's better than a lot of the other quarterbacks that got drafted. That's neither here nor there. I'm not here to shit on nobody. But they're making a statement. And how I'm tying the two together with the judge being arrested and Shedeur not getting drafted as of now, yet anyway, is because there is a hierarchy in elitist mentality that you gon' abide by the rules, you gon' humble yourself, or we gonna make an example out of you, and you're gonna get drafted whenever you get drafted, right? Regardless of who your father is, regardless of your skill set, it don't matter, right? You want to come here with us, you want to be a part of our organization, we will humble you indirectly and directly. And that's what's being said. So even there, right, the point of this build is elitist, right? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word. Is it patriarchy? You know, it's like we all still have to be a part of or get accepted into a certain organization, a certain class, right? One of the critiques that Donald Trump gives lawmakers, I think they're lawmakers in California, is the red tape, right? To where you can't build nothing. And you need to get all these approvals through all these different organizations. And now don't quote me, but I think I remember him saying something to the effect that it ain't about money. They don't care about the money. Either you a part of they circle, you know, they influence, or somebody that they deal with, or they don't like you, or you kiss the ring. It's not about money, right? And we see that with Trump. We see that with Elon Musk. That's why Elon was moving a gang of his shit up out of California. They don't even care about money. It's about being a part of the in crowd, whatever that in crowd is. So to think that these type of organizations, classes, and hierarchies don't exist, or just talk about it as if it's not real, is just fucking asinine. It's real as fuck. Now, whether or not you like Kanye or not, that crazy bastard should be pushing the line. And I'm just saying that more so, you know, joking. I don't think he's crazy by no stretch of the imagination. He definitely pushes line, right? Refuse to be canceled, whatever the case may be. Any other person does that, they completely out of there. You also seeing this take place right now with Shannon Sharp and those allegations. Whatever the case may be. Right? So it's like you still get canceled. You could be 100 million up. You still can get your bread took. You still can have a fall from social and celebrity grace. That's why the ancient motherfuckers were so right and exact. being stoicism, you know, having that warrior ethos, right? Always sticking to a code, not kissing no fucking ass, not being no bootlicker. You know, whether or not you get accepted into the organization, whether or not somebody fire you from a job, should that dictate and transform your whole life? The way society is set up, it absolutely does, because regardless how financially well off you are, you still conform to this narrative of how society operates, and you still are linked to the matrix, right? You still linked to that shit. And I said Kanye, but I also would have to include the Tate brothers too. The niggas push the mean line, still pushing the line, and they still fighting because they refuse to conform. Even when Andrew got like all his shit, like digitally, all his money took, all his cards was no good, his banks, everything, tried to crush this dude. But clearly he was ahead of the curve. Now, most of us, 99.9% of us, is in no way in the position that Andrew's in. And we would probably be, if not absolutely, fucked in that scenario, right? You just sit your ass in jail. You fucked. Even that shows an elitism, right? Because he was treated different because of who he was. And I'm not passing judgment. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm just pointing out the facts, and this is exactly what it is. There's no make-believe. We're not making this shit up. And people only call it out when it don't benefit them. So Trump was above the law, could nothing be done to him, or blase, blase. Now with somebody else, now they want them to be above the law, right? This fucking shit is asinine. This is really a dog and pony show in real fucking time. And that's what we seeing. That's the video. That's how I link two seemingly opposite ends of the spectrum, brought them together. And I want to know what y'all think about it. Y'all think that it's elitism? Y'all think that it's favoritism? It's different classes. There's different strokes for different folks, right? Let me know what you think, man. Put it down in the comments. Like this video. And definitely subscribe. Let's build on it, man. That's the video. Peace.